Hello everyone, I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer, and welcome to a post-commentary of No Man's Sky, where I just talk about it, but I already made the gameplay. Once again, the audio might be a little bit weird in this game, but in this episode, I had to find a bunch of plutonium, and I had to do this because I got a whole bunch of suspension fluid after I explored that one planet, Russia, and got the blueprint for antimatter, and I needed to find a bunch of plutonium to turn the suspension fluid into something else, like electron vapor, and then the electron vapor into antimatter, which required some other resources. And I just kind of went on a moon that was around one of the weird planets in this game, and this moon it was very, very vibrant and Easter-like. Let me tell you, like, I wish I would have named this moon Easter, because I feel like Easter would have been the perfect name for this thing, because it's just a weird planet. As you can see now, like, it kind of looks normal, right? Very normal, very unsuspecting. There's a cube rock, whatever. But as you will see, as I go on, it gets a little weirder as it goes on. What's weird is it had jungle plants that actually didn't have. They weren't in like a jungle. Like, I know that there are jungles in No Man's Sky, but this one was just kind of like, it was almost like the moon had a bunch of water on it, and the water evaporated. Because if you look, there's a bunch of sandbars as well that are just kind of there, but there's no water. Like, there's some water. If you look in the top right now, that actually is water. I didn't know that. I thought that was actually sand when I was playing this. You know, I'm just like scanning the bushes, because, you know, you're supposed to scan the life forms on a planet to get some extra money. But all I was trying to do was to find plutonium, and it sucks, because you will find later on that there was an easy way to do this. But I explored this moon, and this moon it was weird. The geology was weird. The way that the rocks were made were weird. You know, there's these sandbars everywhere, and these rocks to the left only usually appear in caves, but there was no caves. So I was wondering what the heck was wrong. You know, why weren't there caves where they were supposed to? And here's an underwater segment. I finally actually swam. I totally forgot to swim on Russia. But this planet right here, I have to say, the underwater marine life was kind of cool to look at. You know, it was just like exploring. I found that thing. That was a weird plant to discover. I was like, ugh, it's ugly. And ugh. It was just not something that I ever wanted to find again. kind of plant. But it was very weird. It was a lot easier to see under the water than I expected, just on this planet. Based on, like, I expected something weird to be under the water, you know, just whatever. There's, again, a weird square rocks. And that one little rock outcrop thing, whatever that is, I don't know. It's an island that is supposed to be a cave. And these random rocks, I thought these were plants. Apparently if you scan rocks, you get some points too. You get, well, I call them money, I just say points. Money, same thing, you know, you get paid for it. But yeah, and then I was like looking at that, and I was like, oh, there's a trade terminal. Good thing I don't need to know that, even though I actually do. But yeah, there's a random store of iridium there too. But yeah, like, this is a cave right here. Technically speaking, this is a cave, and it looks really cool. But I didn't really find a lot of plutonium. It actually became nighttime when I found a little tad bit. But luckily this surface cave, again, weird cave, on this surface cave, after exploring for a little bit, I did find a really big plutonium rock. I mean, this rock it was a lot. Still not enough, though, because the reason why I had to explore this planet and it got nighttime here was because my launch thrusters, which run on plutonium, ran out of fuel. Like, and I had to walk around on foot on this planet. Which, I mean, it wasn't that bad. There was a lot of cool things I discovered. This random big animal that, I don't know, it kind of scared me a little bit. I expected to die. Not gonna lie, I expected this thing to come and try to kill me. Because I've had animals do that before, and it's not scary. It's not fun. They kill you, and you gotta kill them, and you're sad because you had to kill them. But I checked it out. It's not an animal that tried to kill me. Just kind of ran away with a big fat tail. It was a more normal-looking animal than some of the animals I've seen in No Man's Sky. Like, this thing, I don't know why, just seems like a normal animal that really just seems to fit in more than the other animals that I found, like the turtle things or whatever. You know, I was trying to find plutonium and I just couldn't find plutonium. It was in this random sandbar. Like, this looks like a flash flood place. it was weird. But then I found this beacon. And I was like, well, you know what? It's a beacon. Looks kind of important. Again, searching these things in hopes to find some plutonium inside of them. You know, because that's a thing. Find the isotope chests with plutonium inside of them. But I was like, hey, there's a beacon here. Maybe this thing's going to give me someplace like a advanced life form. Or maybe even a monolith. And it gave me an actually pretty decent discovery. It gave me an advanced life form, which took me a while to fly to, but I had plutonium and I could get to this advanced life form. Again, like, this looked like an abandoned island where there should be a bunch of water, but there's not a lot of water. What I don't like is the restore points for the locations are actually way out from the landing pads sometimes. I think it would make more sense if the location point actually was inside of the base. I don't like this little animation because it just kind of slows the game pace down. And, you know, the fact that I gotta run around and check all the boxes and stuff, just not. I don't know. It kind of slows the game down a little bit. It's my critique of the game. I wish it was just like, oh, you discovered this place. But they make you do it, and you remember these places. Let me tell you. You remember them. And I just kind of went in, and this thing asked me to do something, and let's just say I didn't do it right. It was something about a hologram. I didn't read it. I was like, can I scan you? And no, it got really pissed off. It was not happy with me. It probably hated me, but even though it hated me, I could still ask it for directions, and it would tell me where I could go to get some stuff. And that's always good. It's always nice to, you know, ask the things for directions to find some stuff. You know, they always give you directions. I found this thing. I really wanted this. What sucks now is at the time of recording, I actually have enough money to get this thing, but I am another solar system away, and I'm like, I gotta get to another solar system. So I'm like, God, if I could have bought that thing at that point, that would have been so good. Like, I don't know, and I, of course, you know, went and sold. I had like some iridium and junk and stuff to sell to this thing, and I tried so hard. I was like, please let me have enough credits to buy this thing, but also plutonium, because, you know, gotta get some plutonium as well. It's very, very important that I found some plutonium, and I just, God, it was horrible. I couldn't find any plutonium in that thing. It was heartbreaking for me. I think after this, I just left the planet, or the moon, and went to its home planet, its, like, host planet that it was orbiting around. I was just so pissed off that I couldn't find any plutonium in that one galactic trade terminal. I'm like, yeah, there's probably more plutonium on this planet, but I'm not going to waste my time, because this moon's planet is, like, calling to me. It was a pretty, you know, it was just a sad experience. But this planet right here was really cool. Floating island planet. I love these things. I landed next to a drop pod. I was really happy. But it was very red and very desert-like, and I didn't like that. I don't know why, but like, I don't like the deserts in this game. I just like the super alien-looking planets. And this didn't look too alien to me. This is just like a rip-off of Arizona and New Mexico put together. I mean, there's like cactuses and furry plant things. Like, not too happy with it. The ground also, if you kind of watch where it's red, there's like this weird hexagon type design thing on the bottom of the ground. Very, very weird, and I actually found that hexagon design on another planet too. So it's one of those reused things that really kind of doesn't make the planets unique, but also does. You know, it kind of distinguishes them. But I did, at this place, get an upgrade to my suit. So that's always nice. I will always take an upgrade to my suit. And I keep thinking, you know, if you watch this, to the upgrade to my suit, it says like 15 slots available, right? And then, like, oh, the box is filled up. Well, actually, the box is not filled up. And there's actually more boxes, because I find a drop pod later on, way later on. And I found a crashed resource pod and a monolith, but it's not a quest monolith, and I don't think I found an actual, like, monolith that isn't part of a quest. I think I might have found one, and so this was really interesting to me. This is new to me, because I don't remember the monoliths being in the original version of the game at all. I remember monoliths being more of, like, they were all settlements, random settlements, where, like, you learned 3 words no matter what. There's 3 knowledge stones, just like these monoliths all have 3 knowledge stones. And then you would go and activate this little frickin' 50-sided ball thing, and it would tell you about the history or something of whatever civilization. It was really weird. It was like all philosophical and stuff, and then you learned another word after that. So you learned a bunch of words with these monoliths. It was really weird. And this was one of those things where it was like a puzzle, and I kind of knew the answer to it. Just here's what it says. It says, tiny floating tetrahedrons emerge from the planet's surface and surround me. I tried to wave them away with my multi-tool, but each time they seemed closer to it, as if attracted to it. I raise my multi-tool. They shimmer blue as they dart this way and that, closer and closer there, within touching distance of my multi-tool. So I just let them touch it, because I'm like, yeah, last time I went to one of these things, it didn't hurt me. Just with those weird droney things. And it gave me some advanced technology, and I was like, oh yeah, I really want this technology. It was for like the Boltcaster or something, which, by the way, I have to utilize. But I went to that space station that was marked on my space map. After talking with everyone, I skipped all the talking. Because talking in this game is just, let me learn some words. And of course, you know, I had items to sell, so I'm like, okay, I gotta sell some of my items at least, you know. Make some money in case I find another tool. Because the whole reason money exists in this game is to buy stuff for your tool, your ship, and maybe buy your own freighter. Habitable bases, I mean, like, habitable bases are cool for me, but I don't know. And I sold a bunch of Heridium, which, spoiler alert, not shown in the footage, I actually bought it back. Because I needed it for something else. I needed it for crafting related to antimatter. And I was like, oh, I gotta sell exactly 500 of this stuff. But I went to buy stuff. And since this is part of the quest, not only did I buy some suspension fluid, which I think I already had some at this time, but I was like, do I really want to buy some? And I was debating it, because I had, like, I think 7 or 8, and I was trying to figure out what the heck everything was. And I was, like, clicking around, not paying attention to the fact that there's more pages. And then I looked and found that there was like 700 plutonium on this thing. So I bought all the plutonium and made a bunch of antimatter. Here, I was mining Thamium 9 because I needed that, but I made a whole bunch of antimatter and made some warp cells. It was bypass chip that I found kind of useless, but I ended up making some warp cells. I think I made a total of 5 or 6 and loaded my intergalactic pulse drive, as I like to call it, the hyperdrive, all the way up. But there's one more thing that I discovered, and it's back on the main planet. I had discovered this operations center, and I found one of these before in one of my older files. But here's the thing, the game starts you off with a mining tool, a boltcaster, and a grenade launcher. And in this file, it only starts you off with a mining tool and your scanner. You do get a scanner as well. You get, like, a decked-out mining tool. But in this one, you just get the mining tool and the scanner. And so I was like, wait, I'm trying to push buttons for the grenades, because you can blow that up. Am I doing something wrong, right? And I had to actually create a boltcaster and start shooting this thing. Now, if you watch this, the Sentinels immediately get pissed off at you if you try to enter one of these things. Like, I mean, they are right on you. And I had to reload my gun. I don't know why I have to reload it. It's really kind of awkward how you have a space laser that you have to reload. You know, I would rather prefer overheating, but that's just me. Because overheating makes more sense to me. Because everything else in this game, even your spaceship photon beams, overheats. I believe your rockets just have an energy bar as well. I kept trying to kill that one thing, and I was like, well, let's put him through the doorway. That way I can shoot him easier. Then I realized something after I walked in. They all stopped chasing me. And I was like, yes! I'm gonna use and abuse this. And I mean, I don't get why they stopped chasing me, honestly. Seems like a design flaw, but they did. And I was home free to just do whatever I wanted in this operations center. And so, it actually took me a while. But I figured out that there was a terminal in this operations center, and you'll find it after I start looking at everything. I'm like, why is it all red and stuff? It's all beepy and everything. And I actually missed something that gave me free credits in this game. But I looked around, I was like, man, there's something I can activate in here. And then I was like, oh. And let me tell you guys, this, I know the word toxic, and so I just kind of guessed gas for this. I was like, toxic gas, question mark? And I solved it, and it just did something, gave me some radiation technology, that was it. But, yeah, that's all I did in this episode. It was pretty fun. I liked it, you know, I like the exploration of this game. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, you can tell me in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new, because I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer. I suck just as bad as you do at video games. And I'll see you in the next episode, stream, or vlog of whatever I decide to make.